Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Supes Show. Today, we are here with my boy, Krist Bazaya. Chris, say what's up to the fans.
What's good? What's good?
So, guys, again, I want to remind you that new episodes of the Supes Show drop every single Friday. We're going to be dropping some gargantuan episodes, and we got just a ton of exciting stuff as we continue to ramp up. Today, Chris and I will be talking heavily about Jurassic World because we literally just got out of a Jurassic World Rebirth event where we got to watch the movie early. We got some goodies here in this like duffel bag right here that we're going to unbox too. But before we get into that, there's some other exciting topics that we want to address. So let's get to those. First things first, Invincible has been one of the greatest superhero shows to ever come out. It's something that we're all constantly watching as soon as the episodes drop. I know a lot of you guys are fans of the show. If you haven't seen it, you guys should definitely check it out because it's one of those shows that you're definitely going to regret not watching as it comes out. Season 3 just ended back in March, and now we're looking forward to Season 4, which will release at some point in 2026. But over the past week, creator Robert Kirkman just came out and gave some more plot details on what we can expect for Season 4. He said that Season 4 is going to feature a lot more of the Viltrumites and the entire Viltrumite War storyline. For fans have been looking forward to that since the beginning of the first season. Krist, I know you're a massive fan of Invincible. We constantly talk about this show. What are you looking forward to the most in Season 4? Another thing is that the creator also said that Thrag has been cast. And so we are going to see Thrag, who's like the ultimate endgame villain. He's already cast, bro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He hasn't revealed who it is?
They haven't announced the casting, but they have confirmed that Thrag has already been cast. They've already done a majority of the work on the next season. And it's going to feature some of the most complicated animation sequences of the entire show so far. And so, yeah.
Who do you think Thrag's gonna be? We had this argument a few times before. Who did you want Thrag to be again?
John Bernthal.
Yeah, that's it. And I was about Ron Perlman, Lich, Slade, fantastic antagonist and voice acting.
There's a lot of great names that people have been throwing out there. I feel like they're gonna announce it at Comic-Con at the end of this July.
You're right, yeah.
But it's just exciting, bro. I mean, the Viltrumite storyline and the entire storyline of the whole Viltrumite War has been the thing I've been looking forward to the most. You know, throughout last season, we had obviously that side subplot with Omni-Man and Battle Beast and Alan the Alien, which that was amazing.
Gas.
Now we're going to get a lot more of that in Season 4. So what are you looking more forward to the most in Season 4? And are you kind of excited for what he's been teasing here with these recent statements?
To be 100% honest, anything Thrag related, that is like the ultimate aura farmer. That is, he's gonna go down. Like, whether you think like other characters within Invincible are better antagonists, like the whole Rex plot line in the future, Thrag is always gonna, like, people are gonna put him in debates in terms of an antagonist for a comic book show with like, well, just like in terms of any like actual media, they're gonna compare it to like the Thanos, the Green Goblin, the Heath Ledger Joker in terms of the GOAT Mount Rushmore, even though it's animation. Thrag is an absolute GOAT.
1000%. Like, we haven't even seen him in the show yet, and he's already alongside Thanos, Homelander, Heath Ledger's Joker, Willem Dafoe's Goblin. Like, I mean, they've done everyone so right?
What they did to Conquest, like what they added into the animation, like the whole like monologue that he has adds great depth to Conquest. Like, Conquest was so freaking good, which gets me so much more excited for Thrag because they could get the original storyline and what made Thrag so good and make it so much better because of how good Conquest was.
And I think they're going to do that because they have deviated, you know, at certain points throughout the show in order to like skip some storylines that might not be as interesting and to just keep the show moving because it is a massive like comic storyline and there are a lot of issues they got to get through per season. And so the show is constantly moving forward and skipping over stuff and changing certain things here and there while still being truly faithful to the overall story. And when it comes to Thrag, man, like, just, again, the second this character shows up, I feel like he's going to suck the energy out of the room. He's going to take over every scene that he's in. And it's crazy to say that because we've already seen such great villains on the show so far with a Conquest, with Omni-Man. You know, Omni-Man in Season 1 was a beast.
That's one of the best finales, like, in TV ever, bro. That finale was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. And honestly, that's one of the most fulfilling parts of the show so far is seeing Omni-Man's journey to redemption. Yeah. And we're going to see that a lot more this season because he gets, you know, Omni-Man and Alan are on that journey of assembling a team to be able to fight against the Viltrumites, which, dude, it honestly gives me Game of Thrones vibes. on the simple fact that Game of Thrones teased a massive war starting in season 1 that the entire show just constantly built up to throughout all of the seasons. And, you know, each season has its own story. There's a ton of side stories in Game of Thrones. It's just a, you know, massive thing with multiple different stories. But the overall story was always building up to the Great War, the Long Night, everyone versus the White Walkers.
Yeah.
Invincible has kind of done the same thing, where since season 1, again, there's a ton of different stories, but since season 1, they have been teasing that the overall thing is the war against the Viltrum Empire.
Yeah.
I don't know, you got anything else to say on it?
No, like, I think what Invincible is doing, I know people complain about certain things about like animation, but because they're pumping it out so much quicker, and I think how they're actually like adding context to different things, like obviously the comic itself is fantastic, that's what the whole story is deriving from, but what they're doing to animation, like the actual show, like obviously on Omni-Man's like whole redemption arc, we see more context to it. We see him looking into the heart of a black hole, like just little scenes like that, like his full gray beard, fully depressed, like regretting all of his actions. What Invincible is doing is improving on its original source material so well. I hated Amber season 1. What they did with Amber slams comic Amber, makes her whole arc where she's switching around and becoming a well-written character so great. Like, Amber's enjoyable now. Like, she's like so intellectual, like emotionally, she like understand, like it does feel a bit different than what she was like in season 1, but I genuinely enjoy how they're going about it, like upgrading the source material.
1000%. I think they're making all the right moves. They know what they're doing, and I really like how, you know, we don't have to wait that long. You know what I'm saying? Like, the wait between season 1 and season 2 of Invincible was like 3 years, but I feel like they've gotten in a great rhythm and a great groove. You know, season 2 released I think in 2023, and then season 3 came out obviously this year. Season 4 is coming out next year. I just feel like they've gotten in a great rhythm with it.
And it's crazy because season 3 is better animated than season 2. The biggest gap was the worst animated season.
1000%. And so now looking forward, there's obviously going to be a lot more complicated sequences, bigger battles, bigger wars looking ahead to season 4. And so it's really awesome that they're just staying on time and we don't have to wait that long again. It drops at some point in 2026 and we will be here to cover it all with you guys as we continue to build up to Invincible season 4. But next thing I wanted to talk about was Clayface. Because this week we got our official Clayface casting. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, I forgot the dude's name off the top of my head because he is a young and up-and-coming actor. And this is his first, like, major studio film, which, I don't know, what's kind of your perspective on studios casting unknowns versus, like, household names?
Obviously, like, when they go the household route, it's all, like, money perspective. Like, obviously, bringing in Scarlett Johansson for Jurassic World is going to bring in more money than a new name that no one knows of. But at the same time, it really shows that, like, they genuinely really believe that the film will do well. They have a lot of hope for it. They believe the casting's good. He's going to give a great performance. I honestly, when they do stuff like this, even though I would love to see, like, a dude I know that I enjoy, I also get excited when I see someone relatively new because they saw something in that person.
1000%, and I trust James Gunn. You know, James Gunn kind of talked about how this guy completely blew everyone away. Matt Reeves is also co-producing this film, even though it's for the DCU. Matt Reeves is co-producing the movie, and he was a part of the casting process and was blown away by this actor who's now playing Clayface. I'm really interested in this movie, right? Because I don't think any of us ever expected Clayface to get his own solo movie,
especially this early in the DCU too, which is wild.
Especially to have it in the DCU instead of it being like kind of like the Penguin, where it's a spinoff within the Matt Reeves Batman universe.
Matt Reeves doing this as well. Like it's honestly kind of confusing, but at the same time, like I've been seeing people make arguments that like the Batman's gonna somehow interact, like just interlock within the actual DCU, but that's like a whole different tangent.
For sure. I mean, I do think we could potentially see Batman in this film. My biggest theory that I've been wanting to see come to life with this movie is because this film is being told through the perspective of Clayface, who's known as like a Batman villain, I want to see Batman from the perspective of the criminals of Gotham. Turn Batman into a horror villain.
Yeah.
You know, turn Batman into a monster. You let Batman use the shadows. Let Batman kind of scare the crap out of Clayface, because that's who Batman is from the perspective of criminals. He's scary as hell. He's a figure that who is literally, his goal is to instill fear into the criminals of Gotham, so like that they think twice when they go out and they do those bad things. I want to see that from the perspective of Clayface in this film, and it would be a great way to see Batman like that before we get Batman fully in his own solo movie or wherever else we see him in the DCU.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that's like I think The Penguin is one of the best one-season shows I've ever seen. One of the best comic book shows of all time. Fantastic show. My only issue with it, literally the single complaint I have with it, is that it was unrealistic. Unless when they show us Batman 2, we see during that exact same time frame, Batman was occupied with something else or preoccupied with something else, then it would make sense. But from my perspective right now, there's no way all those events, like the massive explosion in Gotham, doesn't get the interest of Bruce Wayne wanting to actually come help in the middle of a massive gang war when he already knew. Like, Bruce Wayne is already so delved deep into the mafia after, especially the whole Falcone thing. Like, you would think that Bruce Wayne wants to, like, fully delve into, like, what's going on, who's going to be the new mafia don, what's happening. Big explosions, no Batman. So Batman 2, I'm assuming he's preoccupied with something else. But, yeah, like, I want to see. That's why, that's also, like, if we got the Penguin's perspective, because it's the Penguin show, we would have seen it, like, how terrified he would have been from Batman 2, especially after everything, the, like, previous beef he had with him, too. It just would have added, if he had Robert Pattinson show up in the Penguin, that might have been one of the greatest moments in a comic book, like, medium ever.
But since we didn't see that then, we got to see it now with Clayface.
I agree.
You know, Clayface is that opportunity to show Batman in that light from that perspective. And I just think it would be so cool. It's literally like, it's the easiest aura farm for Batman in the DCU. 100%. Batman doesn't even need lines of dialogue. You can just show Batman in the shadows lurking, and then he comes out and then just kicks ass.
Like
he does what he does. Exactly like he did.
Aura farm like hell in Creature Commandos. I don't even think he said a word in that scene.
No.
He went crazy.
No one voiced Batman. He just showed up, and again, he just showed, you kind of just see the silhouette in Creature Commandos. Further dive deeper into that with a film like Clayface. And, you know, part of the reason why I'm so excited for this movie is because there's so many elements that just show how confident Warner Brothers truly is in this script and this story. Casting an unknown actor to play this character means that they're not going to get the support of a top billed household name who's going to put butts in seats regardless what they do. Yeah. You know, if you cast an A-list actor to play Clayface, they're going to bring an audience to see this film. But now that you're casting an unknown actor, it just shows confidence within the story and the character itself. It's Warner Brothers saying, guys, we know you might not know this person, but we know you're going to love him because the script is great, the story is great. And James Gunn has constantly talked about how, you know, they're not going to make movies at DC unless the scripts are truly great. And they were never planning on making this Clayface movie until they got the script and were completely blown away by it. And then they just set the things into motion. And now we're getting it next year.
You know how confident you have to be to have no DCU Batman and make a film about his antagonist? That is absurd. And it is every sign that this movie is going to be gas.
Exactly. For them to have rushed it, and not even necessarily rushed it, but for them to have done a Clayface movie for the DCU before a Batman solo movie, it speaks volumes on how confident they are in the script and the story. And for me, when it comes to the way they're building out the DCU, I think the most important thing right now is that they don't miss. You know what I'm saying? They get in a good state of momentum. We're about to watch Superman. We all know that's going to be amazing. We're just asking the question of how amazing it's going to be. We already know Superman's a hit. Now looking forward, we have Peacemaker. Next year we have Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which looks incredible. We have Lanterns. We also have Clayface. If DC continues to just put out hit after hit after hit after hit, to me, that is more of a success than putting out, 30 projects a year. And, you know, there's some hits, there's some misses. We've seen that over the last few years with Marvel, with other franchises here and there. I think DC just needs to focus on quality over quantity. And that looks to be like what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Now, before we get to the goods, talking about Jurassic World Rebirth, again, we just came from this event. Literally, it's like, I don't know, it's like damn near midnight, and we're filming this, guys. But before we get to that, we just found out today that there is going to be a little trailer attached to Jurassic World Rebirth when it hits theaters on July 2nd, and that is the first teaser trailer for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Krist, how are you feeling? I know you're hyped.
I think Christopher Nolan is the greatest director of all time. I have an Interstellar tattoo tattooed on my body. I think that is the greatest film of all time. I think so highly of this mother trucker, and the fact that he's making the Odyssey. I think Interstellar is the greatest of all time. Instantly, when I heard of what he's doing, I was like, this might be the one movie where I think he easily surpasses Interstellar. You're taking one of the greatest story arcs in history, one of the most influential stories to ever exist, and you're getting one of the greatest directors that typically uses some of the greatest soundtracks and scores ever with a stacked cast. Like, we are going to get an absolute generational film that our children are going to talk about. I'm excited.
1000%. I love how much of an event Nolan movies have become, and it's like no matter what he does, we're all gonna pull up. No matter what he does, we know it's gonna be great. And the Odyssey is no different. I mean, it's a fact that the Odyssey is a bigger story than what he did with Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And Oppenheimer was fantastic, right? But when it comes to, getting this trailer attached to Jurassic World Rebirth, I love the idea of it. I mean, putting out a teaser 1 year before the movie ever hits theaters is just such a massive sign of confidence, and it's Universal reminding us, hey, the GOAT is coming back to town in 1 year's time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, a lot of people have their perspective that, like, it might be too early to start marketing a film. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
We also haven't seen, really, aside from, like, a couple of set photos here and there, we haven't seen much, like, we haven't seen anything from the Odyssey.
Nothing at all.
And so, yeah, just give me a solid 60 seconds of just pure sauce, seeing a lot of actors and the characters that they're playing. And, man, we will hold on to that for a very long time because the marketing probably isn't going to start until 2026. So it'll be the only Odyssey nuggets we get until then. Now, the moment is here, guys. It's time to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. Krist, hold this up for me real quick.
Oh, I got you.
Because, guys, on our way out, they gave us these, like, duffel bags. Look, it's like a little gym bag, and there's stuff inside.
Oh, they gave a lot of presents. I walked out with a Spinosaurus figure. I walked out with a T-Rex mask, and then they gave Duffies.
Oh.
Okay.
Give a little hat.
Keep it going.
Little
Okay.
care package, little skin care package. Shout out ScarJo. Whoa, what's in here? I think it's like a flat.
You're winning me over.
Little water bottle. Yo, there's a lot of stuff in here actually. You guys can see it's like a little, like,
Oh, they got them
metal
all.
water bottle.
Spinos, okay.
The shirt that I'm wearing right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I need one of them, so I appreciate that.
Whoa, I think this is and we got a blanket. Whoa,
Whoa!
There's a blanket in here.
Okay.
Let's see what else. Oh, a film.
Oh!
Film strip, guys. Look at this. It's like film strips from the film because they shot it on, I think, 35mm. This is a.
Oh, that's more. Oh no, what?
Oh.
Oh, it's the slapstick. Yeah. Okay.
And then there's this last thing. Oh, which is like an ice cube mold. That's what it is.
Wait, is it a dinosaur?
Dude, yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
Fire.
You got me. That's good. I like that a lot.
So yeah, now it's kind of time to talk about Rebirth. I mean, scores 1 out of 10.
8.
Yeah, I would give it an 8 out of 10 as well. I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is my third favorite film in the franchise, right behind the original, Jurassic World, and then there's Jurassic World Rebirth. This film is far better than Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, which I wasn't a big fan of at all. But this truly feels like a return to form for the Jurassic franchise. Krist, this has been one of your most anticipated films from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So I know you're a big dinosaur, big Jurassic Park fan. Talk to me.
So I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's my third favorite, but I think it's close because my favorite is Jurassic Park 3. World was my third favorite, and this is in between. I think I like it a little better than World. I think the film was fantastic. I think a lot of the dinosaurs that we got to see, like the Spinos, the Mosasaurus, the T-Rex river scene, the D-Rex, the Mutodons. There's some specific scenes with the D-Rex and the Mutodons that I thought were absolutely fantastic. There was great action in it. The only thing about it that knocks it down from being like a perfect film for me, or a 9 out of 10, an 8 out of 10 is still fantastic, is that I think there were so many great dinosaurs that it was hard for them to give us more scenes of the dinosaurs, if it makes sense. Like, they had to go from the Spino to the T-Rex to the D-Rex, and it's like, you don't get I felt like with the T-Rex, I'm like, oh, I wanted a little bit more. Oh, the D-Rex though, oh damn, like I need some more. Like, it feels like I need more of it. But I would have to say the D-Rex aura farmed so much in this film. Genuinely, like, out of all the antagonists we've had in Jurassic Park's franchise, Rexy, Spino from 3, the Giganotosaurus, Indominus Rex, the D-Rex is 100% the strongest alpha predator we have ever seen. 1,000,000,000% the strongest. It beats the Indominus and Spino, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite parts of the film, honestly, were, one, the look of it. Mm-hmm. Like, you can tell, like, this is one of those blockbusters where all of the money is on the screen. Like, you know, characters are naturally lit by the sun and not a green screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just looks so visually beautiful. And Gareth Edwards is known for his visual style. He did 2014 Godzilla. He did Rogue One. He did The Creator, which came out last year, or 2023.
Was so pretty. That's a visually stunning film.
It's a beautiful movie, and he's a director who's so big on actually shooting on location. So they shot this film in Mexico City, in Thailand. They shot it on actual jungles, and you can tell, and it looks freaking beautiful. Jonathan Bailey's my favorite character in this movie, bro.
He's by far the best character within this film. It's not even a debate, not a question. He's by far the best character.
Yeah, to give you guys, we're not going to talk spoilers, but to give you guys an overview of kind of just like the main mission, you know, the film is about kind of like this shady company who hires Zora Bennett, who's played by Scarlett Johansson, to put together a team to basically go to this island to extract the DNA of 3 different dinosaurs. One of them is in the sea, one of them is an air-based dinosaur, and another one is one that's based on the land. And so, you see all of these characters go on like different journeys and go on, I don't know, go into different environments in order to encounter these dinosaurs and get this DNA that they're required to get. And then on top of it all, they're trying to survive it and get off of this island because some things don't go their way. And there's a lot in between that happens. Again, not going to spoil anything, but that's kind of just the main premise of the story. And again, like I said, it truly does feel like such a return to form for Jurassic. You know, there is a moment that, just for me, like, they play the Welcome to Jurassic Park theme from the original, and you're just like, oh my God, this is magical. Like, if you like Jurassic Park, you're going to love a moment like that. Now, there are a couple of moments, like, I counted like 2 or 3 moments where there was just insane plot armor to the point where...
I know exactly which moment. We didn't even discuss this. I know exactly which moments he's talking about.
Insane plot armor to the point where it's, like, unbelievable. And this is a fantasy kind of sci-fi-ish movie, so you're already kind of suspending disbelief. But there are, like, 2 or 3 moments where you're just like, like that did not make sense.
Yeah.
That would not happen. There's no way he or she would survive that. But... aside from that, like, I don't really have any criticisms about this film, aside from those, like, 2 or 3 moments where I kind of had to suspend my disbelief because there was just, like, way too much plot armor. Because, you know, again, like, I really enjoyed all the characters. I liked the mission. I liked the score, the look, all of the dinosaurs. I feel like moving forward, they need to lean into kind of like the hybrid dinosaurs.
100%.
I feel like that was so cool. Such a cool concept.
It's fantastic because it also gives, like, even dino nerds that know everything about all dinosaurs, they're really interested in this film because it's dinosaurs that they've never heard of, they never comprehended, because we have a raptor and a pterodon combination with the Mutodon. And obviously you go into this film like, how does the Mutodon work? Is it going to interact with the Velociraptor? Is it going to work with them? Is it going to be against them? Does it have any higher calling? Does it have the high intellect? And it just, like, brings another level of fantasy that already existed in Jurassic Park. Like, with Indominus, you see them genetically engineer the Indominus to be this monster. Mm-hmm. But with the D-Rex and the Mutodons, it's accidents that they created trying to create a monster. And it's fantastic how absurd and how monstrous they are. Like, obviously, the D-Rex is based after a Xenomorph and a Rancor from Star Wars. And you get to see the inspiration while you're watching it and see what the D-Rex does. And while you see what it's doing, you're baffled by how great it is. My only issue is that I needed more of it. With every scene, with the Spinosauruses, the Mosasaurus, the Quetzal, like everything just needed more. But then again, it doesn't make sense because then it would be too long of a movie. So I think there might have been too much dinosaurs, which is weird to say in a dinosaur film.
Without spoiling, what would you say was like your favorite sequence? Again, we're not going to spoil anything, but for me, you know, there was the very highly anticipated raft sequence where I believe that was a scene that was written in the Jurassic Park novel.
The original one, yeah.
And now they finally brought it to life in this film. That sequence was really great. The boat sequence.
Great. That was good too.
That was awesome. For you, what was like kind of your highlight?
Two moments that I thought were really fire. That gave me goosebumps. They're not even like, the first one isn't a long moment. The second one's pretty long. The first moment, no spoilers, pee. Think of pee. The peeing scene.
Oh, that was really funny.
That gave me goosebumps because it answered a lot of questions I had about a certain species. And then the second moment or like sequence was, I would say, the introduction of the D-Rex.
Yeah.
With the fog, absolutely stunning. Stunning how that all went down.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it caught me off guard. When I saw, because you know what happened, obviously with the fog and all that. Mm-hmm. When I saw it happen, it shocked me. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like it's D-Rex cooked. He ore farmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's hard. I want to say what happened, but I can't. It's like, whoa.
No, but you were like, no. It's like, whoa.
I can't say.
What else? I mean, again, we just watched the movie, so I'm still kind of trying to think back to like a lot of my favorite moments. I just can't stop thinking about how much I love Jonathan Bailey's character. He kind of plays like this little science nerd who's just constantly informing all of the characters about the danger.
He has a great monologue in this film. One of the better monologues within Jurassic Park. He gives me heavy, like, obviously Alan Grant or even Eric Kirby, because Eric Kirby's so sick in Jurassic Park 3. He gives me heavy vibes of that. Like, Jonathan Bailey is definitely going to be a great character moving forward because obviously they're going to make a whole trilogy about this. What else? I like the Quetzal, like, obviously. So, like, I've been getting a lot of videos on my For You page.
Who's the Quetzal?
That's the big bird.
Oh, okay.
So, the Quetzal, like, there's, like, debates about, like, there's a few other avian, like, dinosaurs. I mean, they technically, where they're, like, relatively that size. And it's so absurd because, like, they're so massive and we've never seen it in person. So, it's cool to see the largest flying being to ever exist on planet Earth actually on screen. That thing is the size of a bus when it actually puts out its wings. It literally, if you just design its face a little different, it's a dragon. And watching it with its murderous intent in the film was sick. I just wanted more of it. So, like, it just feels like I needed more of, like, all this stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things we kind of talked about is that there's so many dinosaurs in this movie, but, you know, you'll be introduced to a really cool dinosaur, and you'll just kind of want to see more of them instead of moving on to a different dinosaur with another cool sequence, which that is a compliment in itself, but it's also kind of like, damn, like I want to see more from this dinosaur because this dinosaur is freaking cool. Like, can we go back to that guy? But then the next guy is just as cool.
Yeah.
So overall, man, I really enjoyed Jurassic World Rebirth. Again, like I said, if you're a fan of the Jurassic World franchise, or the Jurassic Park franchise, I should say, I truly think you're gonna love this movie. You're gonna have a great time. It is a return to form for the franchise. It feels very nostalgic, and I'm excited to see where they take the story beyond this film.
Yeah. I wonder how else it's gonna go down because the events, like in the very beginning of, even in the trailers, they explain that, like in the trailers they talk about how dinosaurs are dying, and that's why they're going to the island. How are they gonna, like? Are they going to re-enter the island? Because, like, it's interesting. I wonder how they're going to go about it. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, especially with the way the film ends. You're kind of like, well, this solves a lot of problems. So,
Yeah.
What does the future look like?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in to, episode 3 of the Supes Show. We will be back next week because, guys, big announcement. This weekend, I will be in Brazil for Superman. Got a ton of activities I'm going to be covering over there on my different social medias for that. And by the time I get back next week, I will recap with you guys on the next episode of the Supes Show on everything I did on that trip. And you guys will be able to see a lot of it. And we're gearing up for Superman July 11th. We're almost there. Every day is closer to this movie. And I just can't wait, bro. I think about it every day. It's crazy.
Movie's gonna be gas. I have very, very, very high expectations. James Gunn, save DC, please. I need it.
Let's get it. So I will see you guys next week for a little recap of the Brazil trip, and as well as just recapping everything else that goes on in the world of entertainment. Again, like I said, episodes drop every single Friday. So with that being said, make sure to subscribe, like this video, comment down below, and hit that bell notification on my channel to get notified for future videos. And make sure to check out Krist's social medias, which will be linked in the description below of this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.